Grace and peace, everyone, and welcome, watch enthusiasts. This is Time Measured. My name is DK, also known as Javid, and today I'm going to be doing a review of the Orient Sun and Moon Rose Gold version. Now, Orient is well known amongst watch enthusiasts. It is a Japanese watchmaker established in 1950, currently owned by the Epson Corporation. Now, the Sun and Moon was first released in 2007, and this is the Rose Gold version. Now, the Sun and Moon watch is a dress watch, and in my opinion, if you're going to look into the brand of Orient, the Sun and Moon is a good place to start. Let's begin. Let's start with the most attractive aspect of this watch, which is the dial. You have a 38mm diameter on the dial. The dial is covered by a double-domed sapphire crystal, and you can just see the effect when you put it against the lighting and different angles. It has an hourglass look to it. It looks very attractive, and it perfectly suits the aesthetic of this watch. You have a beautiful textured cream dial. You have Roman numerals in black for the hour markers. And if you can get a closer look, you can see the different textured designs on the dial itself. So around the hour markers, you can see you have a circular pattern. And then in the inner dial, you have a different textured pattern where you have the Orient logo and the words automatic at the 2 o'clock. You have your day subdial at the 10 o'clock. You have your sun and moon subdial at the 5 o'clock. You have a 60-minute track around the outer ring of the dial in black pips. Now, one thing I don't like about the dial is the date window. You can see that it is largely cut out, and it exposes not only today's date, but the date that was before and the date that's after. I'm not sure why they did this, but it doesn't look good. And I wish they would just stick to having the date window just where you can see the actual date that you need to be worried about. Another thing I don't like is these two screws that appear to hold down the sun and moon subdial. I'm not sure why those are there, or at least visible, but it does take away from the aesthetics of the dial. The dial is not loomed. This is a dress watch, and there's no loom. We're going to move on to the case now. You have a stainless steel case, rose gold. The case is fully polished. You have a case measurement of 42.5 millimeters. You have a case thickness of 14 millimeters, so this is a thick watch. You have 22 millimeter lugs, and you have a lug to lug distance of 50.5 millimeters. So although this is a dress watch, this watch does wear big. You have a nice open case back, which is also polished. You can see Orient Watch Company Limited, 22 jewels. You have your nice Orient logo on the rotor. You can see here the movement is the F6B24 in-house movement, which gives you 40 hours of power reserve. You have a water resistance of 5 bar or 50 meters. Movement Japan, Epson, stainless steel. You have a signed crown with the Orient logo. You have a crown diameter of 6.5 millimeters and a crown thickness of about 3.3 millimeters. Now the crown is a bit too small for my liking. The thickness is a bit too small at 3.3 millimeters. So you do have to really pinch your fingers to get a hold of the dial properly. If you pull the crown out to the first position and move clockwise, you will see your day of the week complication move forward. If you turn the crown counterclockwise, that will in turn adjust your date complication. And the sun and moon complication turns when you adjust your time. So you do have hacking and hand winding. Pull the crown out all the way, your second hand stops, and now you're able to set your time. So as you're setting your time, you can see the sun and moon subdial starts to convert. We are now changing over into the nighttime part of the day. So right at the 12, you see the date change, and you can clearly see you are in the nighttime. Keep going. You see the sun and moon dial starts to now shift to the daytime part of the day shortly after 6 a.m. And now your sun is representing the daytime part of the day. It's pretty cool. You have a push-pull crown. Second hand begins to go again. Taking a look at the strap. Now I removed the original strap, so we're going to put this down for a second. This is the original strap. The leather was not that great quality, which is why I removed it. This one does show wear, but when it is brand new, you have a alligator grain leather strap, which does meet the aesthetic of the rose gold colored case. You have the pliant buckle here. You have a sign buckle with Orient, and it's not bad. The leather could be better. It's not that great, which is why I did swap it out for a better strap. But the point is, to meet the aesthetic of this watch, you're going to need a nice brown alligator grain strap, and you are good to go. So what I've done is I've replaced the strap with a nice Barton leather strap. You can see here it's nice glossy leather grain strap that perfectly matches this watch. You have a rose gold buckle that matches, and that's what you need for a watch like this. Get a nice leather strap that's going to match the rose gold case, and you are good to go. In terms of style and performance, this is an amazing dress watch that does wear big, and if I were to change anything, it would be in the dimensions of the watch. I wish that they could bring the 42.5 millimeter case size down to 39, 40 millimeters. I wish they could bring the 14 millimeter thickness down to maybe 12 millimeters. I wish that they could bring in the lug width from 22 to 20 millimeters. And I also wish that they could just make the crown a little bit thicker and easier to grab hold of with your fingers. Outside of that, I wouldn't change anything on the dial outside of maybe making the date window smaller to only view the one date that you need to be worried about, and get rid of these two screws here that are kind of like a little bit distracting to such a beautiful looking dial. So here is a wrist shot of the sun and moon on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. As you can see, it looks very nice. Despite its case dimensions, it wears extremely well and looks like a nice dress watch on the wrist. This watch is very affordable. You can pick this up for around $400 to $500. I've even seen this watch as low as $300. This is a great watch to have and own. You're not going to find too many watches with a dial that looks this nice for such an affordable price. Well, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like and subscribe and comment. I will reply to any comments I receive. And until the next one, take care.